Rapidly improving VR technologies such as full body tracking and face tracking offer users an ever greater sense of presence in the virtual world. This heightened presence intensifies both positive and negative emotional responses to outside stimuli. A growing problem in VR applications, particularly in social apps, is users facing embodied physical harassment. Unwanted touching, personal space violations, movement obstruction, and other actions can make users feel uncomfortable or threatened. This motivated a research question: how can one design nonverbal interactions to mitigate embodied physical harassments and discomfort while preserving a high-level presence in VR?
To this end, we set out to generate design guidelines for social VR to mitigate these unwanted interactions. We started by surveying academic studies and existing VR applications for solutions and recommendations. Using affinity diagramming, we clustered the 42 guidelines found into similar concepts and generated an initial set of 16 guidelines. We then collected user testimonies from Reddit and academic research to further understand the types and causes of harassment, as well as applications these harassments happened in. Using this information, we further modified, contextualized, and refined our initial set, ultimately developing a total of 12 design guidelines. To evaluate these guidelines, we interviewed 6 graduate students involved in at least one VR design project and asked them to judge the guidelines' clarity, usefulness, and feasibility. The feedback we received was very positive, with an average score of 4.72 out of 5 for clarity, 4.38 for usefulness, and 4.18 for feasibility. We made further minor revisions based on suggestions given by some participants. A common thread of criticism came from several users questioning the usefulness of some guidelines, as they did not seem to address nonverbal harassment directly, but tangentially. To answer this, we added a tier system to our guidelines, distinguishing critical guidelines from recommended guidelines. Some notable examples of our guidelines include mitigating personal space violations, supporting methods of nonverbal communication, and leveraging virtual environmental cues.
We have created 4 proof-of-concept prototypes implemented from our design guidelines to explore the possibilities of the design space. Some examples of them are Space Bubble, a cylindrical multi-tier personal space bubble where different distances are set for friends, strangers, dangerous individuals, and dynamic objects. Intruder will fade out as they get closer. This strikes a good balance between safety against harassment and communication richness. VR Picto Chat, an accessible and personal tool which allows users to draw or write on an arm-anchored whiteboard, then flip it over to show to others. This can be a great fallback option for those who are harassed based on their voice and wish to communicate non-verbally. In conclusion, we have created useful and effective design guidelines to prevent embodied physical harassments and discomfort. We hope that these guidelines can inform designers to create a safer experience for VR users.